Welcome back, everybody. My name is Mr. Seth, and together we've been learning how to play the guitar. If you're watching this video, it means that you have learned to play now in 3/4, 6/8, and 4/4 time signature. You've learned the F, C, G, A minor, E minor, and D minor chords. My goodness. You've learned to tune. You've learned all the parts of the guitar. You've learned a lot of guitar. And if you're watching this, it means you've come back from learning some different songs in our song list that happens right before this video. So great job. You guys are doing really awesome. Okay. What we're going to dive into today is a little bit more on the music theory side. Okay. So anytime you hear me or any other teacher say music theory, okay, what that means is it's kind of just the rules of music. So when I go to the whiteboard and I explain how time signatures work, okay, that is still music theory. But what we're getting into right now is a little bit more of that kind of thing, okay? So here's what I want you to do. Take a deep breath. You can even set your guitars down for a minute if you want to. But a lot of the times when you're hearing new music theory information, right? When somebody's teaching you music theory for the first time, it can sound really confusing the first time you hear it, okay? And then the second time you hear it, it's a little bit less confusing. And then the third time you hear it, you're like, okay, it's starting to make sense a little bit. But then the fifth time you hear it is when you actually get it and you fully understand it and you can now apply it into your music playing, okay? So when I explain all these concepts, I want you to listen, maybe even take notes. If that helps you, pull out a piece of paper and take some notes of the things that we're going to be learning, because this is going to be a lot. There's a lot of new words, but once we learn this, it's going to help you so much in your music playing, okay? So here we go. I'm going to go back to the whiteboard. And today we're going to learn about something called the Nashville Number System. Can you guys say Nashville Number System? Okay. This is a way to talk about chords that a lot of people use all over the world to be able to talk about chords really fast. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you first kind of this concept about music. Okay. So music is kind of like an umbrella, all right? Now, this umbrella, it has two sides to it, okay? Just stay with me, we got this. Now, one of these sides is called melody. You guys might know this as notes, okay? Now, the melody side of music is when there's one note played at a time, okay? It's just if I sing, I'm singing the melody. So if I go la, 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 I'm singing all these little notes when I'm going down. Those are each notes, and that's melody, okay? And then on the other side of music, there's something called harmony. Can everybody say harmony? Okay? Harmony is when there's chords. Okay? And chords are when there's more than one note at the same time. Okay? So if I grab my guitar and I play two notes at the same time, that is a chord, but it's also harmony. Okay? It's like when one person sings and they go, ah, and the other person goes, ah, and then there's another person that goes, ah, and they all sing at the same time. Those are harmonies, okay? When there's two notes that are being played at the same time, that's harmony. So there's melody, those are notes, and then there's harmony, those are chords, okay? Now, on the melody side of things, okay, there's no major or minor, okay? The major and the minor we don't really talk about notes in terms of major and minor. Remember, from our last couple videos, major is when there's happy emotions, and minor is when there's sad emotions, okay? So some chords sound happy and some chords sound sad, but notes, okay? If I just go like this, is this note happy or sad? It's really hard to tell because a lot of the times notes aren't happy or sad. They're just kind of, they're notes. But as soon as I start to add in some other notes at the same time, okay, now this, that's happy, okay? Before, this is just an A note, but then this is an A chord, and this is actually an A major chord. It's a happy chord, but watch, if I play an A minor, we know how to play that chord, look. Then now this is a sad chord, okay? So major, minor, and then just a note, okay? So it's not happy or sad on the melody side, okay? On the harmony side, okay, it's full of emotion. It's full of happy and sad chords, okay? There's so much of this emotion that happens when we start to play chords and harmony. When there's more than one note that's playing at the same time. These chords are happy and they're sad now, okay? So on one side of music, okay, we have melody. These are just the notes, okay? We're going to come up with this word called a scale, okay? Now, a scale is in music, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but it goes like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is a major scale. That's a scale. It's a pattern of notes that is in ascending order. It goes up, okay? So it goes from low to high. If we go do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, it moves upwards, okay? So that's a scale, all right? On the harmony side, we're going to have the same thing as a scale. Same thing. It moves from low to high, except we call this a chord family, okay? So say this word, scale, and then say this word, chord family, all right? I promise you, this will make sense in just a little bit, okay? Now, on the melody side of things, this is where these things called the Nashville Number System come in, okay? Can you say Nashville Number System? Now, every time I say the Nashville numbers, okay, what that means is it's referring to these numbers. Now, I don't know if you guys know how to read Roman numerals, okay? But I'm going to just teach you really quick. Roman numerals are really simple. It's like counting, okay? So it'll be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just say these are normal numbers. In Roman numerals, it's using little lines to say the same thing. Okay? It uses some letters to say the same thing. So this is the same thing as just counting up like this. And this is what the Nashville Number System uses, okay? So these are called Roman numerals. Can you say Roman numerals? Fantastic. Okay, so we have the Nashville Number System and Roman numerals. So this, remember, this is just counting up to 8. Stay with me. We got this, okay? Watch this. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to write out 1 through 8 in Roman numerals, okay? Just like this. Now, I'll write this here too to help you guys. Okay? But what this does is this helps us to know what the numbers are in a scale or in a pattern of notes that moves up. So if I go like this, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, how many notes is that? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It's 8 notes, okay? And look at, there's 8 numbers right here. So each of those notes, remember what's a note? It's a sound. Each of those sounds in music theory, remember what's music theory? It's the rules of music. In the rules of music, each of those sounds has a number that goes with it, okay? So watch this. Here we go. We're going to learn this other word, okay? Stay with me. We got this. We're going to learn this word, a key, okay? Can you say the word key? Now, the word key in music, this is all it refers to, is a group of notes, okay? A group of sounds that sounds good together, okay? And there are some groups of notes that sound good together and some groups of notes that don't sound as good together. Okay? So there are a key. So like if I go like this, okay? If I go like this, okay, that's me, that's what I've been singing. Do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, that's a group of notes that sounds good together. That's a key. If I go like this, okay, that doesn't sound as organized as this scale does, going do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to learn what these different keys are. Now remember, what is a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together. What's a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together. Okay? So we have a key. It's a group of notes that sounds good together, but there's in every key, there's one main note in that key, okay? So the key that we're going to learn first is the key of C, okay? So this is the group of notes that sounds good and is based around C, okay? So we're in the key of C. What is a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together. What's melody? It's one note at a time, okay? What's harmony? It's more than one note at a time, or that's a chord, okay? So then we have our key right here. Remember, that's our group of notes that sounds good together. What is the main note in this key? It's C, okay? So here's what we do. Watch this. On number 1, we write a C. Okay? And then we're going to follow the alphabet from there. Okay? So we're going to go from C, and the next letter is going to be D. And then we're going to go E. And we're going to move up with those notes, except for one thing. Okay? In music theory, the alphabet only goes to G. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it starts over and goes back to A, okay? So in the music alphabet, we only go to G. So we're going to start in this key, which is what's a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together, okay? In this key, we're going to play C as the 1, okay? So the 1 is C, and then we're going to follow the alphabet, okay? So I know that this is a lot of information, but you guys got this, okay? So stay with me on this. Ready? We're going to go like this. C, then we go in the alphabet. D, and then we go E, and then F, and then G. But then watch. From right here, we're doing the music alphabet. So it stops, and it starts over at A, and then B, and then C. So now, if I play do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, it's actually what those notes are, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the key, the group of notes that sounds good together, that is the main note with C, okay? So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay? Great job. Now, stay with me because this is not chords. Okay? This is actually the notes. Like this. So if I play my guitar and I play on the melody side of the Nashville Number System, like this, okay? I'm going to play like this. Okay? Those are the Nashville numbers. That's me going do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now we're not going to learn to do this right now, okay? But instead, we're going to talk about this same thing, but instead of playing notes, we play chords. Okay? It's really, really awesome once we start to understand this, okay? So remember, these are Roman numerals, okay? This is the Nashville Number System, okay? And now what we're going to learn is not a scale anymore. Remember, what is a scale? It's notes that start low and move up in a pattern and they go high, okay? And what's a key? The last thing, what's a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together, all right? So now we're going to learn about this, the chord family. This is the last thing we're going to learn, and then we're going to end this video. And if this was a lot, I want you to go back and watch this one again, okay? You guys got this. You could do it, I promise, all right? So a chord family is like a scale that it moves from low to high. Do you hear this when I play it? I can play it like this. Or I can play it like this. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's what we're learning to do right now, okay? Watch this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over here and write the same numbers. Okay? These are the Roman numerals. And I'm going to write this here to help you. Okay? And we're going to start, what key are we in? Okay, we're still in the key of C. So we're going to write a C right here. And then we're going to go D, and then E, F, G, A, B, C. Because remember, we're starting with C, and then we're doing the music alphabet. So we're going from C to D to E, F, G, and then at G we start over because there's no H note in music, okay? Now, I want you to look at these letters right here, okay? Now, do you see how this is a capital I and this is a lowercase I, okay? Remember when we're writing major and minor like this? Guess what? When we write major, it's a capitalized M, and when we write minor, it's a lowercase m, okay? Just like this. So look at all these numbers right here, okay? These letters too. You see how some of them are capitalized and some of them with the I's that are dotted are lowercase. Now, what that means, this is why the Nashville Number System is really, really cool, okay? Watch. If you look at this pattern of notes, okay, what is this? This is the key of C. Watch. This is a C major because this is a capitalized I. If we go here, this is supposed to be a D minor because it's a lowercase I. Okay? Now look, we go here. Is this uppercase or lowercase? It's lowercase. So then this would be an E major or minor? Minor, okay? Watch. E minor. And then we have F major, G major. You see if there's these two lines, it means it's capital, okay? So here's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, okay? And then we're going to learn about one more word, okay? And this is the last thing we'll learn today, okay? Is this little sign right here, okay? This little sign, okay, is the word diminished. Okay? Diminished. And now what diminished is in music, there's happy chords, okay, there's major chords, and there's minor chords, which are the lowercase chords. Those are the sad chords, like this. So this is a C minor chord. This is a C major chord, okay? This is a happy chord. This is a C minor chord. We haven't learned to play this one yet, but I'll show you, okay? Now that chord is super sad, right? Really, really sad, okay? This is a C diminished chord. Listen. See how it's almost like a There's like a question mark. Huh? It's like a question, okay? That's what this means, a diminished chord, okay? Now in this series, we're not going to learn how to play a diminished chord. But if you ever hear that word when you're talking to different teachers or different musicians, you need to know that diminished is a sad chord, right? It's a minor chord. That's why this is lowercase. But it's got this question. It's like, huh? What do you mean? It's a question mark, okay? So there's happy, there's sad, which happy is called major, sad is called minor, and then there's diminished, which is like confused. It's like, what? Okay, it's almost a question. All right, those are the three emotions in a key, okay? What's a key? It's a group of notes that sounds good together. Now, that is a lot of information, right? But guess what? If you learn this pattern right here, okay? These Nashville numbers, they stay the same in every key, okay? Every group of notes that sounds good together, they stay the same. Now, what chords have we learned so far? We've learned C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor. Those are the chords we've learned. So we've learned to play almost the whole key of C, but we just haven't learned to play the B diminished chord. And we're not going to learn that one in this series. It's hard, okay? But watch this. If I erase this, you now know how to play this. You know how to play these chords, okay? So if I said this, what is the 1 in the key of C? The 1 in the key of C, remember the group of notes that sounds good together in C is C. What is the 3 in the key of C? E minor is the chord that is the 3 in the key of C. Okay? What is the 5 in the key of C? What's G in the key of C? Okay? What is the 1? C. What's the 4? F. What's the 5? G. What's the 6? A minor. Okay? So you'll hear people say, oh, play a 1, play a 4, play a 6. And that's what they mean. As long as you know the key that you're in, you can spell out the key. It's so much fun. Okay, but here's what we're going to do. In every key, there are 4 main chords out of the whole key. Okay? So in the key of C, there are 4 chords that are most important out of all the chords that are in this key. Okay? Those chords are always 1, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Now here's how you can practice this at home. Okay? Remember, this is what I want you to practice. 6 is the only number out of these 4, okay, that is a minor chord, that is a sad chord, okay? So here's what I want you to do. If I said, hey, what is the 4 in the key of C? This is what you would do. You would go like this. You'd use your fingers. Please use your fingers, okay? Watch. What is the 1 in the key of C? I think, okay, C. That's what I start with. So my 1 in the key of C is C. If they said, what's your 3 in the key of C? Okay? All you have to do, no, sorry. What's your 4 in the key of C? All you have to do is this. You start with C and you follow the alphabet. Remember that. You follow the alphabet. So it goes like this. C, D, E, F. And now you're on your 4th finger, so that's number 4 in the key of C. All you do is start with C and then you go through the alphabet, okay? What's the 5 in the key of C? That's easy. You go like this. C, D, E, F, G. Okay? And that's the 5. If I said, what's the 4 in the key of G? Okay, we haven't ever talked about this before. But what's the 4 in the key of G? You would start at G, and then remember the music alphabet, it starts over after G. So we would go G, and then we would go A, B, C. Okay? And the 4 in the key of G is C. All right? I know that that's so much, but I promise you this will make sense the more that you begin to hear it, okay? So if you need to, go back and watch this video a couple of times to really understand this, okay? And in the next video, now we've learned to play the key of C. Look at the 4 most important chords in the key of C. We know them. C, F, G, A minor. We know those chords, okay? But what are the 4 most important chords in the key of G? Or in the key of A? Or in the key of E? Now what's a key? Remember, it's a group of notes that sounds good together, okay? So we're going to begin in this next part of our series to learn the 1, 4, 5, and 6 of different keys, okay? And it will help you to be able to play so many more chords and so much more music, all right? I know this was so much. Thank you for learning with me, okay? You guys got this. You can do it. And I'll see you in the next video.